Special welcome to Esther, who's joining us today for this DAF. Okay, here we go. So this is actually the picture. The picture is, here's the Heichal, and the ramp is over here, coming from the south, and here's the west. Here's the Kodesh Kodashim. So you really walk up, and then you go like that. But the reason that you need the picture, you'll see shortly. Zak the Gemara. Should to be done shortly. So Zak the Mishnah. Chatos HaSibor v'Yachid v'Shkin HaChaz. Nun Beis Amid Beis. The chatas of the tzibor and the yachid, there's a korban tzibor and a korban yachid. Elu and chatos hatzibor, seirei rashi chadashim mishel moados, the seir of Rosh Chodesh and the seir of the moados. Those are korban chatases because they are brought for defiling. They atone for defiling the mikdash and or the kachim, the sacrificial foods. Shchitasam betzafon kibul daman beklisharis betzafon. You shech them on the northern part of the Mizbeach, and you go on the northern part of the courtyard, and you go ahead and you're makabel them on the northern part. That's what this picture is over here, right? The northern part. That's where the rings are. That's the northern part. That's the southern part. That's the western part. That's the eastern part. So you shech them on the northern. Everything happens on the northern part. V'daman ton arba matanos al arba karnos, and you need to go ahead and you need to put the 4 matanos on the 4 karnos. Now the word karnos is used a little bit interchangeably in this Gemara. The word karen can either mean a corner of the Mizbeach, or it can mean, as you see in the picture, the top part. In the picture it says corner, but the corner can be the entire corner. But the karen is that thing that's sticking up. Now just to review for a second, the picture that you're looking at, so the bottom part is the base. That's 1 amma high. The bottom part is the base. Then you have 4 amos between the base and the red line. And then 1 amma between the red line and when the Mizbeach gets skinnier. So that's why it's 1 is the base, and then the entire quote-unquote big thing is 5 amos, 4 up to the red line, 1 over the red line, and then when the Mizbeach gets skinnier, quote-unquote, the actual Mizbeach, that's 3 amos, and then the horn that's sticking up is 1 amma. So it's 1 plus 3 plus 1, which is 5. That's why the line is exactly in the middle. So it's 1 for the horn, and then 3 for that top base, and then 1 for between the top and the red line, and then 4 between the red line and the bottom base, and then 1 for the yesod. So you got 1, 4, that's 5, that's where the red line is, then you got 1, then you got 3, then you got another one. So the line is right in the middle, in between the 10. So when we're talking about the top of the Mizbeach, we mean above the red line, and we mean below the red line. Now, if you're going to apply it above the red line, you can either walk, if you look at the ramp here, again, forget about the fact that it's misplaced with the Mishkan, or the Heichal. When you walk up the ramp, you see that there's a little bit of a place to like veer off to the left. If you want to go in and apply it right there on the top, like right above the red line, or on the corner over there. Now again, forget about the fact that it says corner, that's Karen. But if you want to apply it in the corner, you would veer to the left. If you want to put it on top of the actual pillar, which is what we call the Karen, or the horn, if you want to put it on top of the horn, then you would continue seemingly up the entire Mizbeach, and then put it on top of the horn. But if you're putting it underneath the horn, or, you know, anywhere above the red line, but not on the actual horn, then you would veer off on the left and you would go onto the ledge, which is what we're going to call the ledge in a second.
So they're not walking up with they're not going up the ramp with animals at this point, are they?
They're going up the ramp with, at this point, they're just going up with the blood.
Right.
To sprinkle. Correct. That would be tough with the animals on the ledge.
I'm just saying, why do they have a ramp? It almost seems like they would.
No, so they are going to walk up. They are going to, it's too high, and it's 10 amos, it's 20 feet. And they are going to walk up with the animals eventually to burn them, no?
Oh, I see.
Zak the Gemara. V'damanton arba matanos al arba karnos ketzad. How do you do the zrika? And again, this is talking about a korban chatas and an asham. We're going to see that an ola is different. Chatas and asham is ola bekeves upana l'sovev. You walk up the keves, and then you turn to your right. So again, this picture, in terms of where the actual thing is wrong.
It's from the west.
What?
It's from the west.
Picture's in the west, but it's still wrong. My point is that, right? My point is that even if it's from the west, the thing is on the west, and the ramp is supposed to be on the south. It's not supposed to be on the east. Here it's in the west, and the ramp is on the east. The ramp is supposed to be on the south. It's supposed to be on the south part. It's supposed to be on the left part.
Small ramp.
The whole ramp is on both ramps, but both ramps are on the same side.
It was 2 ramps. 2 ramps. 1 small ramps come to big ramp.
Right, but again, it's supposed to be on the south. But anyway, we're just concentrating on the actual altar here. Alla bekeves upana l'sovev. So you walk up the keves from the south. Again, looking at this picture that I have, you walk up the keves from the south, and you turn right towards the east, which gets you what? Uvala lekeren dromis mizrachis. You're going to get to the southeast. So you're going to start at the southeast, right? Then Mizrachis Tzfonis, northeast. Tzfonis Maravis, northwest. Maravis Dromis, southwest. Got it? You see it? There you go. So you got everything over there. Shiyorei Adam HaYashofech Al Yesod Dromis. And when you come back to the southern corner, the southwest corner, that's where you're going to go ahead and you're going to spill the blood on the southwest corner. That's the shiarim. You're going to eat the food inside the curtains by the zichrei kahuna. B'chol ma'achal, you could eat it however you want. You could roast it, you could toast it, you could fry it however you want with the korban chatas and asham liyom v'layla ad chasos. You could do it for the yom or the layla. Now really you can eat it the entire night. However, as we know and we see elsewhere, when we say on Pesach, you have to eat it until chatzos. It's exera derabanan, so you don't eat it past alos hashachar. But midoraisa, you could eat it the entire night. But again, you're walking up the southern way. You're walking up the ramp. You're going to the right, and you're walking around the entire mizbeach, and then you're ending up on the southwestern part, which is where you're going to leave the shiarei dam, on the dromis part, on the southern part of the southwestern part of the mizbeach. Hey Chiyavid, how do you do this Rika? Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Elazar. There's going to be two machloksim. Chad amar nosein ama elach v'ama elach. V'chad amar machte v'yorei keneged chudo shel keren. One says you put an amma here within an amma here, and the other one says it needs to be on the actual corner. Now I'm going to get back to this in 1 second, but let me just read forward to make it clear. Al libed Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon damar hiatzmei nesas ela begufa shel keren dekuli amma lo pli. So this machlokis is not within Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon, because Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon, within him, Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon says, again, forget about the makeup, when you walk up, you actually walk up to the top and you put the blood on the keren, which is this one amma thing sitting here. So with him, there's no machlokas. The machlokas is within Rebbe. Ki pligi aliba de Rebbe mar savar amma elech ve'ama elech keneged keren hu umar savar keneged chudein tfeilo. So the machlokas is within Rebbe. The first opinion says you walk up the actual ramp, you put the blood of the chatas and asham on the keren, which is sticking up, which is what they're referring to as the corner, which is not just a corner, but a keren. It's this little thing, nothing to talk about. Rebbe says you don't go up to the corner, you walk up the ramp and then you veer off, where the ramp veers off over here, and then you walk onto this ledge. When you're on the ledge, you need to put it above the red line, which either means on this part, on the floor, or any part up to the keren, up to that thing, and it just needs to be applied, again, keneged the keren, somewhere underneath, the equivalent of underneath where the keren is. Now the machlokes is that according to the first opinion, which is Rabbi Yochanan, seemingly, he says it doesn't have to actually be on the corner, like on the actual corner. Again, forget about the fact that this says corner. It doesn't have to be on the corner where the two ends meet, the actual corner where if you hit your head you'll get a boo-boo. It doesn't have to be on the corner. It needs to be close enough to the corner on either side that it's within an amma of the corner. Again, you're walking around the mizbeach 4 different ways. So you're putting it on this corner, either on the left or right within an amma of the corner. This corner, either to the left or right within an amma of the corner. This corner to left or right within an amma of the corner. This corner to left or right within an amma of the corner. That's the first opinion. Second opinion is no, it can't be within an amma of the corner. The blood needs to be on the actual corner, where the two sides meet. On the actual corner, literally on the part that's dangerous, that's where the blood needs to be, on this corner, on that corner, that corner, that corner. But they're only arguing within Rebbe, who says that you're not putting it on the actual keren. If you're putting it on the horn, then there's nothing to talk about. It goes anywhere on the horn. Everybody agrees to that. But if you're not putting it on the horn, and you're putting it, again, within Rebbe, somewhere directly underneath the horn, between the red line and the horn, somewhere underneath it, then the machlokes is, does it have to actually be on the corner where the two things meet, or can it just be close to the corner on either side, to the right or left of each corner? The keren was an amma by an amma. So it has to be within an amma, that's why it says within an amma, i.e. it needs to be directly beneath the keren. If you put it more than an amma away from the corner, it's not going to be directly beneath the keren. So it needs to be either here, or here, anywhere underneath the keren. Okay.
First machlokes we're talking about top.
First machlokes is, does it have to be on the actual horn? According to the first guy, it needs not necessarily does it have to be on the top. According to first opinion, it sounds like it could be anywhere on the horn. It could be on the top, on the side, anywhere on the horn, but that's not what they're discussing. The second machlokes is discussing within the opinion who says it doesn't go on the actual horn. It goes anywhere beneath the horn. Does it have to be specifically on the corner, or can it be to the right or left a little bit? But I think the first opinion, I think Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon will agree that it has to be anywhere on the gufa shel keren, not specifically on top.
Well, I think second time we talk about floor. There's on the floor already. Top and floor.
Maybe. Again, the way I'm understanding is that we're dealing within Rebbe, and the machlokas is within Rebbe. Meisvei, we have a question on this opinion who says that within Rebbe, that it's not going on the actual horn, but it's going beneath the horn. Within Rebbe, this opinion that says it doesn't have to be on the corner per se, but it could be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right within an amma, as long as it's directly beneath the horn. So we have a mace, we have a kashan. It's chatas asibor vayachid ketzan matan daman hayaola lekeves upano lesovev ubalo lekeven dromis mizrachis. Again, like it says in our Mishnah, you go up the keves, you turn, and then you end up on the southeastern corner. Vitovel be'etzba hayimanes, you stick your etzba in the blood. Which finger? Hamiyumena shebiyamin, the most dexterous one, which is which one? This one, the index finger, the forefinger. Min hadam shebimizrak, from the dam in the basin. V'chomer bigudalo milamalu v'etzrokatana milamata. I'm not exactly sure how the Kohanim did this, but I guess the same way that they could split their hands, they were able to use their pinky and their thumb to push the blood off of their finger. So the thumb here, I could do it with my thumb. Somehow they were able to use their pinky also to push the blood off of the forefinger onto the mizbeach. Now again, this is only when they're using their fingers. Sometimes they're actually using a thing. But this one I could do. I'm not sure how they did. I guess they went like that. Right? At the same time, I don't know how they did that. But yeah, you go like that. You hold it like this and you somehow go like that. And you push it down and up. Says the Gemara. Either way, what's the point here? You need to put it onto the chuda shel keren. Again, the keren here is used interchangeably for the horn and the corner. So we're not talking about on the actual horn. We're talking about it needs to be on the corner, kineged ha-keren. You do that on all four sides. But what do you clearly see here? You have to put it on the corner, not within an amma of the corner. The Gemara says no. No, the mitzvah is on the corner per se, but if you do an amma to the left, within an amma to the left, an amma to the right, it's going to be okay. So again, we have three opinions really. One opinion is it has to be on the actual horn. Other opinion, it could be kineged underneath the horn, anywhere from the bottom of the horn to the red line. Within that opinion, the question is, does it have to be on the actual bend on the corner, or can it be a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, as long as it's still underneath the horn?
When you say the red line, isn't the red line under their feet? Because you've got the
red line is under their feet, but according to this opinion, you could put the blood on that one amma underneath, right. They could either just go like this, or they can bend down and put it on that part of the mizbeach, it sounds like. This red line right here, so this amma, there's an amma here between the red line and, right, they're standing on this ledge here. So seemingly if they would bend down and put it on the amma here between the red line and their feet, that would be yotzei also. That's above the red line. I'm assuming that they put it here somewhere, where they were standing, but it would be kosher, it sounds like, if you put it anywhere on the red line. Anywhere above the red line.
You're staying on the top.
Again, they're standing right here on the ledge. They're standing on the ledge. I'm talking about, again, if they're putting it on the keren, then they're walking all the way up the ramp and standing on the top. If you're putting it on this part, underneath the keren, seemingly you're standing on the ledge and applying it here, but there's no reason halachically that you couldn't apply it here also. There's no reason that they couldn't bend down and put it over here within the anama above the red line. It's the same. It has the same kedusha as the other four amos. Zak the Gemara. My Rebbe Elazar, Rabbi Shimon. What's the reason? It's clear that it goes above the line or below the line. Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon Omer, no, it's not above the line or below the line. When it's talking about a chatas and an asham, b'medvar memurim ba'olas of. That's only an olas of. An olas of you could put above the. This is according to Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi would say it's for all. It's for all chatas and ashams. He says for an olas of, it could be put anywhere above the red line, like you're saying. It doesn't have to be put on the actual horn. But says Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon of b'chatas behema, which is what we're discussing. He atzma eineses ella al gufa shel keren. That's his opinion. It needs to be put on the actual horn. Rabbi Abo, my time of the Rebbe. Now the question is, what's the reason for Rebbe that it doesn't have to be put on the actual horn? Why are we asking for the reason of Rebbe? Because the pasuk says keren. So seemingly, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon makes more sense that by a chatas and hasham, it needs to be on the keren, which is what they're referring to as the corner, but it has to be on the actual horn. So why does he say that it could be underneath the horn as long as it's connected the horn? And then again, how you learn, either literally on the corner or within an am of the corner. What's his svara? Says the Gemara, Dichsiv v'harel arba me'os, ar amos, u'meharel u'lamala v'go. Says that there's something with the Mizbeach that's 4 amos. Now, if you look at the picture again, there's nothing here that's 4 amos. Because we said the base is 1 amma. Between the base and, again, a little bit above the red line, but between the base and where this first part of the Mizbeach ends is 5 amos. It's a total of 5 amos. So you have 1, and then 5, and then 3, and then 1. So there's no part that's actually 4 amos. Yes, it happens to be 4 amos between the base and the red line, but that's not a significant amount. So it's 1, 5, 3, and 1, which is 10. But what's 4 amos? What's it referring to 4 amos when it says that there's a part of the Mizbeach that's 4 amos? Arba amos udavya? There's no part that's actually 4 amos. There's no 4 amos. Says the Gemara, Maravada Barava, this is Rebbe's reason, Makom karnos arba. Makom karnos dalad avya? Is the corner, is the horn 4? The horn's not 4 either, it's only 1. Rather, Ela Ema Rishut Karno Dalid. The Rishus of the Karen is Dalid. That means the place you're allowed to go ahead and put the blood is 4. Where do you see 4 amos? Well, if the horn is 1, and you're not putting it on the horn, then there's 4 amos between the red line and the bottom of the horn. Like we said, 1 amma for the base, 3 ammas up to the line, then you have another 1 amma plus 3. That's 4 total. 1 amma above the red line to the base of the second part of the Mizbeach, 3 ammas up to the bottom of the Keren. Therefore, you can put it, that's where he gets 4 ammas. And therefore, that shows further that he says, Rabbi, I think that shows further that it's 4 amos total where you can place it, either the amma between the red line and the base of the top one, or the above 3 amos.
If you count the horn itself as 1.
We're not counting the horn, though. He's saying that we're not counting the horn. He's Ema Rishus Karnos Dalid. The Rishus of the Karnos, the Rishus underneath the Keren is Dalid. Because he's saying that it doesn't have to be placed on the horn. He's saying it can be placed underneath the horn. Okay. Zok the Gemara. Tnan Hasam. Chut shel sikra chogro be'emsel avdil ben damim al yonin ledamim atachtonim. That they put this line in the middle. Binani mili, where do you see this? Amar Ravacha barav katina shenemar v'haisa hareshet ad chatzim mizbeach. The red line wasn't just a red line. It wasn't like a crayon. It was a copper. It was like red copper. HaTorah nidnam b'chitz al avdil ben damim al yonin ledamim atachtonim. And again, anything of elyonim needed to be above the red line. Shiyorei hadam. So this is, we were talking about now the zrika. The zrika of the chatas and asham, when you're doing the actual avoda, is done on all 4 corners. The question is it done on the top of the actual horn? Is it done on the horns? Is it done on the corner, within and out of the corner? But this time about all the zrika. But now again, you walk around the entire thing, using this picture. You walk from the south, you walk east, north, west, and now you're left at the southwest corner of the Mizbeach with all the leftover dam. So what do you do with that? Shiori Adam, Taner Rabbanan, El Yisod Mizbach, Ze Yisod Dromi. So again, you're standing now at the southwest corner. If you look at this picture, you're standing at the southwest corner of the Mizbeach. So the south is this way, which is where the ramp was. The west is this way, which is where the Heichal is. You're standing at the southwest corner with the leftover dam. What do you do now with that dam? Do you pour it on the west part of the base? Again, seemingly you're going to have to get down. So I'm not sure. Yeah, you're back here. So you're back, you're not where you started, but maybe you could walk down the ramp over there as well. You come down the ramp over there to the southwest. Southwest.
From southwest, and there was a hole.
So now, right, so now you're at the southwest bottom of the Mizbeach. Now you're back on the floor, and you're by the southwest bottom of the Mizbeach. What do you do with all the Shiyare Dam, with all the leftover Dam? Do you pour it on the southern part of the southwest Yisod, or do you pour it on the western part of the southwest Yisod? Or do you pour it on the corner of the southwest Yisod? Says the Gemara, Taner Rabbanan, El Yisod Mizbach, Ze Yisod Dromi. You pour it on the southern part of the southwest corner. Ata Omer Ze Yisod Dromi, Reino El Yisod Maravi. Maybe you should pour it on the western part of the southwest corner. V'yilmat Sasam Min Amar-Furash. Says the Gemara, no. You should learn Sasam Min Amar-Furash. You should go ahead and you should pour it on the western part. Why? You learn the Sasum, which is the outer Chatas, which is what we're talking about now, from the inner Chatas. And we know that by the inner Chatas, we said before that the leftover Dam is poured at the base of the part of the Mizbeach that you first encounter when you walk out of the Heichal. What's the part of the Mizbeach that you first encounter when you walk out of the Heichal? The western part of the Mizbeach. That's exactly what you're encountering. When you look at the Mizbeach again, if this is south and this is west, you're encountering the western part of the Mizbeach. So just like by the Inner Chatas, you pour the leftover dam on the western part of the Mizbeach, where it clearly says that. Over here, we're going to learn that you pour the leftover dam on the western part of the Mizbeach as well for the outer Chatas. Says the Gemara, Marta Yomad Yiridasu min HaKeves L'tziyasu min HaEchal. Ma Yitziyasu min HaEchal B'samach lo, Af Yiridasu min HaKeves B'samach lo. The Gemara says, no, you shouldn't pour it on the western part just because over there it's the western part. He says you're not understanding correctly. Again, let's say I'm walking out of the Heichal. So when I walked out of the Heichal with now I'm standing on the western part. When I walk out of the Heichal with my dam from the Inner Chatas, what am I going to hit? I'm going to hit the western part of the Mizbeach, which is right in front of me. The western part of the Mizbeach. I'm going to hit it right here. Says the Gemara, that's fine. But that's only because, so you want to say, since you hit the western part of the Mizbeach with the Inner Chatas, over here by the outer Chatas, you should apply it on the western part. But over here, we're not coming out of the Heichal, because we're dealing with the outer Chata. So what are we doing? Now we're up the ramp. We walked up the ramp again on the southern part. So we walked up this way. We walked up this way, up the ramp, right? This is what we were referring to. We walked up the ramp this way. We went around this way. And now we're left here.
Southeast.
So now we're on the southeast corner.
Southwest.
Southwest.
So now we're on the southwest corner, correct? We're here.
No.
We're there on the
You're
left.
closer to the base.
Last one.
The Heichal.
You are
Second,
the last
here's
one.
the Heichal.
Yeah.
Well, all right, then you got your thing set up all wrong.
Here's the Heichal.
Well,
If
then
this,
you got
sorry,
your Mizbeach set up.
sorry, this is the Heichal. This is the Heichal. I'm sorry, you're right. This is the Heichal. That's the Heichal, correct. No, the picture's still wrong. That's the Heichal. That's the Heichal. You walk up here to the Heichal, right? Then you go around.
Go south.
You go
south. No,
Going to
south.
your left is south.
Go south. Go south.
correct. Now you end up here. You end up on the southwest part, correct?
Next to the ramp.
Right, next to the ramp. So now you're ending up on the southern part. You finish at the southern part before you hit the western part. So according to the Svara, if you're going to go to the part that you're hitting first, it's easier to look at it with this. Again, I'm sorry you can't see, but this is the southern part. You walk up, you walk around, and now you end up on the southwestern part.
Right.
But when you finish, we're saying after you apply the blood over here, you're standing by the southern part of the Mizbeach. When you come down the ramp, you're by the southern part. You're closer. You're at the southwest corner, but you're literally at the southern part. So we shouldn't put it to the western part, just because when you come out of the inner chatas, you hit the western part. You should put it on the southern part, because when you finish all these sprinklings, you end up by the southern part of the southwestern part. That's the second opinion, that you put it on the southern yesod, not on the western yesod. You got to get better pictures here. Says the Gemara, Tanya Rabbi Yishmael Omer, Zev Zeh Yisod Ma'aravi. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai Omer, Zev Zeh Yisod Dromi. Now we bring in something else. Because until now, we said that everybody agrees that you put the blood, the leftover blood from the inner chatas on the western part of the Mizbeach, because that's the part you hit first. And the machlokes was, do you extend that to the outer chatas? Do you say that the outer chatas goes on the western part as well because of the inner chatas, or does it go on the southern part, the southern base? But now we have another opinion that says, Zev Zeh Yisod Ma'aravi, which we understand, Rabbi Yishmael. Both of them go on the western part. Again, the inner chatas goes on the western part because that's what you hit first. And the outer chatas goes on the western part because we're learning from the inner chatas. But Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai says, Zev Zeh Yisod Dromi. They both go on the southern part. Now the outer chatas going on the southern part, I understand, because you just finished at the southern part, southwestern part, and you end up by the southern part. But why would the inner chatas go on the southern part? Says the Gemara, Bishlam Alamandi Amar Yisod Ma'aravi Kesavar Yomat Sasamin Amafurash. Elalamanda Amar Yisod Dromi My Taima. Why are you putting the leftover blood on the southern part of the southwest part? What's pshah with the southern part? Says the Gemara, Amar Ravasi, Kesavar Aitana Kula Mizbeach B'Tzafon Kai. Lishnakrina Kule Pesach B'Darom Kai. So again, the picture over here is not right, but there's a machlokas, there's a different picture here. If this is the ulam, there's a question, where exactly did the Mizbeach go? So according to the way we're learning now, the Mizbeach was to the southern part of the exit out of the Heichal. So we thought that when you walked out of the Heichal, the Mizbeach was right in front of you. And therefore, if it's right in front of you, which part, if this is the Mizbeach, and I walk out from the west, which part of the Mizbeach am I hitting? The western part. But if the Mizbeach is not directly in front of you, and it's actually in the southern part of the temple, now when I walk out, I don't hit the Mizbeach at all, And when I turn left, the first part of the Mizbeach that I hit is what? Is the southern parts.
South part.
That's what it's saying. Is that if you're right, if the Mizbeach is here, then there's no reason to assume that you're going to put it on the southern part, because either way, you're either learning from the inner chatas, or you're going ahead and saying that, right? It makes no sense to say that you're going to pour the inner chatas on the southern part if the Mizbeach is right in front of you when you walk out of the heichal. Because then the first thing you hit is the western part, that's where you pour the shiari down. But if the actual Mizbeach is here, and it's not in front of the entrance anywhere, it's south of the entrance, when you walk out of the heichal with the inner chatas, now what? Now when I walk out, what's the first part I'm going to encounter? Well, I'm going to go this way, then I'm going to make a left, and I'm going to hit the southern part of the Mizbeach. And then that's the first part that I encounter. Then that's where I'm going to put the leftover dam for the inner chatas. Learning to the outer chatas, I'm going to put the leftover dam of the outer chatas on the southern part as well. Zok the Gemara. Top of the next page. Again, this is complicated Gemara. Tana de Rabbi Rishmal, Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, Omrim Zeh Yisod Maravi, Simanecha Mishchu Gavri Legavri. They were able to pull him over to their side, and they were able to convince him that it actually is done with the western, and therefore, again, it seems like what we're saying is that the Mizbeach was not where they just suggested. The Mizbeach was right in front of us when we came out of the Heichal. Therefore, you walk out of the Heichal with the leftover blood from the inner chatas, you hit the western part of the Mizbeach, you put the leftover right there on the western part of the Mizbeach, and then the only question becomes, do you now learn to the outer chatas that it also goes on the western base, or do you say, no, you don't learn from the inner chatas, you just put it wherever you hit first, which in that case of the outer chatas, the place that you hit first after finishing and walking down the ramp is actually going to be the southern part and not the western part. Good? Zok the Gemara, Zok the Mishnah. Ha'ola kache kachim. The ola is kache kachim. Shchitasa betzafon v'kibul dama beklishares betzafon. Same thing. The shechted in the north part, and you take you makabel the dam in the north part. V'dama taon shtei matano shein arba. Over here, it's a little different. Over there, wherever you learn, if it goes on the actual horn, or it goes on the corner, it goes within the nam of the corner, whatever it is, you're definitely walking around to all four corners of the Mizbeach. Here, we learn differently. Because we know that by the ola, there's one special rule by an ola. And that is that by an ola, you're not allowed to go ahead and apply the blood to the part of the Mizbeach, or above the part of the Mizbeach where there is no base. Which part of the Mizbeach was there no base? The southeast part of the Mizbeach. There was no base on the southeast part of the Mizbeach, for whatever reason, which we'll see. As the Gemara is going to tell us, because that part of the Mizbeach was in the chelek of Yehuda, not in the chelek of Binyamin. So there's no base in the southeast corner. So by an ola specifically, where you need to apply the blood directly above where there's a base, you can't apply in the southeast corner. Well, if you can't apply in the southeast corner, how are you going to go ahead and apply on all four corners? So I'll tell you a secret. There's two ways to apply on all four corners. Either you go like this, you apply here, 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 and here. Or, when you're standing here, you apply a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. So now you cover this side and this side. And when I'm standing over here, I apply a little bit over here and a little bit over here, and now I cover this side and this side. So what's going to happen by the ola, which is what the Mishnah says, is shtei matanos shehein arba. You're going to stand on the northeast corner and the southwest corner, and over there, by applying a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, you're going to cover all four corners without have to actually ever going here or here. And since there's no base here, you don't have a problem of applying it over a part of the Mizbeach that doesn't have a base, because you still covered what you needed to cover over here by applying it here and here and here and here.
And they say there's no base. It's just flat then? They still have enough.
That means that it's flat like this. It's right here. You see it right here. There's no base. You see that? Again, I'm not saying the picture is 100% right, but you see that there's a base, and then the base on this little part, there is no base.
Right, but you still have an amma of wall.
Yeah, you see it right there. There's the amma wall without the base. The Mizbeach still 10. It's still 10 ammas high. It's not like on a slant. But there's just no base on that part of the Mizbeach. We have to draw a better picture that's 100% right.
They call sovev.
Sovev is the base. Yeah. Says the Gemara. Talk the Gemara, U'te'una ha'hefshet v'nituach. When you're dealing with an ola, you have to skin the animal and cut it up into pieces, even though you're not going to eat any of it. You're going to burn the whole thing. V'kala li'ishim, and it's totally consumed by the fire. Ola my time tani le kache kachim. Why does it say that an ola is kache kachim? Ola is not the only thing that's kache kachim, and asham and achatas is also kache kachim. So what do you tell me an ola is kache kachim? Because by the other two, it actually says kache kachim here in the pasuk. By the other two, mishum de lo ksiv ba kache kadashim hi. Kodesh kadashim hi. Kachatas v'ka'asham. it calls the Chatas and Ashram Kodesh Kadashim. It doesn't call the Ola Kodesh Kadashim. So the Tana needs to tell you, don't think that the Ola is not Kodesh Kadashim just because it's not called Kodesh Kadashim. It's actually Kodesh Kadashim as well. Vidama Tod Shtei Matanos. What?
Where does he get it?
Where does he get the what? Oh, how does he know it? Clearly from what we've said otherwise. Because it's gula rashes to eat the hakula ligavoha. Because of the fact that we burn it totally up, so the fact that we burn the whole thing totally up, he says that it's kodesh kadashim. Vidamaton shtei matonas hechi avid. How does he do it? Amarav nosein v'chozer v'nosein u'shmuel amar matana achas kimin gama nosein. So again, there's always machlokesim. So the machlokes, everybody agrees. You put it over here and over here, northeast and southwest. The question is, of course, that would be too simple. So the question is, do you go ahead and do 4 different applications? Boom, 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 boom. Again, you're standing only in 2 corners, but boom, 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 boom. Or do you do one application which covers both parts? Sort of like a reish or a chaf sofit, where you would be like, where if this is the corner, again, you would either do boom, boom to cover both corners, or, it's better if this is the corner, because you do boom, boom to cover both corners, or you sort of do like a reish where you go like this, which covers both corners as well, but it's only one swipe. So it's just a question of, are you doing 2 different zrikas or 1 long zrika, like that. Either way, you're covering both corners, but the question is, are you doing 1 zrika covering both corners, or are you doing boom, boom? 2 different corners. Says the Gemara, so if you say nosein v'chozer v'nosein is 2 different applications for a total of 4, and matana achas kamin gama nosein is 2 applications total. Kitzna yachol yizorkenu zrika achas tamad lomar saviv, isaviv yachol yakifenu kechut, tamad lomar v'zarku. The reason it says zarku and not just saviv is because if it just said saviv, what would you think? You literally, like a crayon, you draw a line around the entire mizbeach. Zarku means to throw. You'd think that if it just said saviv around, that you would take your finger and you literally would have to like draw a line around the whole mizbeach, similar to the red line that we have here. So it says zarko, you don't do that, you just throw it in the corner. Ha-ketzad kimin gama. Shtei matanos shein arba. Rabbi Shmuel Omer, no, nemar kan saviv nemar malhalan saviv, malhalan pisuk arba matnos, afkan pisa arba matnos. So again, he learns from the fact that it says vizarku. He learns vizarku again means 1, 1, and each one is a double one where you're going. The other one says no. The reason why you apply 4 different bangs, boom, 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 is because we're making a gzerat shava of saviv from the inauguration chatas. And just like by the inauguration chatas, again, it's a little different. By the inauguration chatas, you're doing 4 different applications, but you're doing it at 4 different corners. Boom, 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 boom. Here, we're just learning 4 different applications in 2 different corners. Boom, 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 boom. Says the Gemara, though, if that's what you're going to do, you're going to make a gzerat shava, then ibal halan arba manos al arba karnos, afkan arba manos al arba karnos. If you're going to make that gzerat shava, you got to make the whole gzerat shava. And over there by the chatas inauguration, you don't just do 4 applications. The 4 applications get put in the 4 different corners, and they get put on the actual horn. So don't tell me you're going to learn from there that you need 4 applications. If you're going to learn from there, then learn from there the entire way. And say we're going to do 4 times. You're learning 4 applications, but you're not going the whole way. You're saying 4 applications only on 2 corners and not on the actual horn. Says the Gemara, Amarta ola tuna yisod v'keren mizrachish domes l'hayula yisod. Like I mentioned, we would learn from there. The problem is, it's impossible to learn from there because we have another rule. If you're telling me we should learn from there, then we should do 4 applications on the 4 kerens, we can't. Because I could do the application on this keren, and this keren, and this keren, but when I get to this keren, I'm not going to be able to because there's no yisod. And we know that by an ola, it needs to have the base underneath it. So therefore, we're going to learn the gzerat shava, but only as far as we can learn it. We'll learn the gzerat shava to tell me that I need 4 applications, but I'm not going to learn it all the way, because if I did that, then I'd be stuck and I wouldn't be able to apply the 4th application. So we're going to do 4 applications, but it's going to be, again, in the 2 diagonal corners. Says the Gemara, my taima, what's the reason? What's the reason, in fact, that there's no yesod on the southeastern corner? Amar Rav Elazar lefi shelo haisa bechelko shel toref. Toref is the one who tears up. Who's that? Tear. Binyamin tears up like a wolf. What does that mean he tears up? Because he has the mizbeach in his chelek, and the mizbeach tears up, it eats up the korbanos. Damar Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak mizbeach ochel bechelko shel Yehuda Amma. It went into the Mizbeach, went into the Chelek of Yehuda, 1 Amma. That means that the southeast part of the Mizbeach was not in the Chelek of Binyamin, it was actually in the Chelek of Yehuda. And Amar Rabbi Levi Bar Chama, Rabbi Chama Bar Chanina, Ritzu Ha'izayotz in Mechelek Yehuda v'nichna Bechelek Shel Binyamin. That's why at the southeastern part there was a little bit of land that sort of was like in between. It was officially Yehuda's, but it's sort of like, it was like weird, like 3/4 of the Mizbeach were in Binyamin, and a small part, the southeastern part, was in Yehuda. So what did Binyamin really want to do? He wanted to take that part for himself so that the entire Mizbeach would be on his. You're going to like this one, Mendel. So therefore it says, Binyamin atzadik mistar la b'choyom lenola. Every day Binyamin thought, I'm just going to capture that little bit of land so that I can have the entire Mizbeach in my portion. So what does he say? Mendel's really going to like this one. Shenemar, turn the page, Mendel. You tell me if you don't like it. Chofei falav kol hayom. When it says in the Torah, Chofei falav kol hayom, he agonizes all day. Binyamin, he's agonizing over the fact that he can have that part of land in the southeast corner of the Mizbeach. And that's why, Lefichach zacha Binyamin atzadik v'naseh u'shpizchan la'kadosh baruch hu. That's why the end of the pasuk says, Shenemar uven kitefav shachein. Chofei falav kol hayom uven kitefav shachein. Kadosh baruch hu rests between the shoulders of Binyamin as a reward, as a schar for never taking the part of the Mizbeach that was in the portion of Yehuda. Kadosh Baruch Hu gave him a reward and says, you will forever be, or I will forever be a guest between your shoulders. Shkoyach, everyone.